tired or weary. Sad versus tragic. But where to use what? There are so many words which are quite close in meaning. When you lose a match, you're unhappy, but when you lose a dear one, your grief is entirely different. At times, we are physically tired and at times emotionally hurt. Then why to use just a single word like unhappy to describe our different emotions? In this video, you would not just learn multiple advanced words, but also the comparison of words which are quite similar in meaning. Let's have a look at our first word and its example. Here comes our first word, poignant. Can you guess what it means? Here we have three options. Option A is cheerful, B is deeply moving, and C is angry. And the correct option is option B, something that touches your heart or evokes sadness. Here we have an example. The poignant story of Amanda's struggles touched everyone's heart. Coming up next, remorseful and regretful. But do you know what the difference is between remorseful and regretful? Here we have regretful first. Can you guess what it means? Here we have three options. Option A is shy. Option B is angry, and option C is realizing mistake. And the correct option is option C, regretful. Regretful, which means feeling sorrow over an action or decision taken. Let's have a look at our example. Nancy was regretful for not studying hard after she failed in her exams. Well, that was regretful. Coming up next, remorseful. Remorseful and regretful both are quite close in meaning. The basic difference is the level of intensity. Regretful is a more general term to express disappointment or sadness over an action, past event, or outcome, while remorseful reflects more intense emotions and mental distress. Let's have a look at remorseful and its example. Remorseful. Remorseful, which means feeling regret and sorrow for something you have done wrong. King Midas was remorseful for his greed when his daughter turned to a gold statue. Well, that was remorseful. Coming up next, sorrowful and tearful. Let's have a look at sorrowful. Here we have three options for it. Can you guess what it means? Option A is crying loudly. Option B is crying in a low voice, and option C is feeling extremely sad. And the correct option is option C. Here we have it. Sorrowful. Sorrowful. That means feeling or showing great sadness when somebody is simply overwhelmed by grief. Here we have an example for sorrowful. The sorrowful mother started crying when her young son was diagnosed with cancer. Coming up next, tearful. So let's have a look at that. Here we have three options for tearful. Option A is eye disease. Option B is extremely happy. And option C is prone to sadness and tears. The correct option is option C, tearful. Tearful. That means crying or likely to cry. Here we have an example for tearful. Most of the toddlers are always tearful on their first day of school. Well, that was tearful. Our next word is tragic. Here we have three options for it. Can you guess what it means? Option A is an ear infection. Option B is angry, and option C is connected with a tragedy. Coming up next, the correct answer and an example for tragic, so stay tuned. Tragic. Tragic, which means causing or connected with a tragedy or a sad event. Here we have an example for tragic. His tragic and untimely death has left us all in a shock. That was tragic. Stay tuned. Our next word is unhappy. Do you know what the difference is between unhappy and tragic? The basic difference here again is the intensity of the situation. Tragic describes an extremely sad event involving death, suffering, or severe loss, while unhappy is a general state of not being satisfied. Unhappy. Unhappy, which means feeling sad and dissatisfied, like this baby. Let's have a look at our example. Catherine was unhappy when her parents changed her old school. Well, I was unhappy. Here we have three options for weary. Can you guess what it means? Option A is feeling emotional. Option B is feeling lazy, and option C is feeling tired, and the correct option is option C. Weary. Weary. That means feeling completely worn out, tired or exhausted, both mentally and physically. Coming up next, an example for weary. Here comes an example for weary. Nancy was feeling weary because she had been looking after her sick child for more than a month. Well, that was weary. Here comes woeful with three different options. Option A is full of noise. Option B is full of stress, and option C is full of sorrow, and the correct option is option C. Woeful means extremely sad when you cannot hold yourself because of extreme grief. Here comes our example. The woeful father could not bear the pain of losing his young son in war. That was woeful. Here comes wretched with three different options. Option A is bad smell. Option B is bad mood, and option C is bad condition, and the correct option is option C. Wretched. Wretched. That means feeling or looking very unhappy or miserable. For example, a very poor man who don't even have the basic necessities of life like good food or good clothes. Here we have an example. The wretched homeless man had nowhere to go on a cold winter night. Well, that was wretched. Keep watching for. So that was wretched. Now if we compare woeful and wretched, the basic difference would be we use the word woeful for describing extreme grief, but we use the word wretched for not just describing an unhappy state, but for also describing a poor state of living or bad physical appearance. Here we have anguished with three different options. Option A is foot pain. Option B is shoulder pain, and option C is physical or emotional pain, and the correct option is option C. Anguished. Anguished, which means experiencing or expressing severe mental or physical pain. The anguished reporter broke into tears while reporting the war crimes. Well, that was an example for anguished. Our next advanced word is crestfallen with three different options. So can you guess the meaning? Option A is feeling lonely. Option B is feeling insulted, and option C is feeling defeated, and the correct answer is feeling defeated. Crestfallen. Crestfallen. That means feeling deeply disappointed and defeated when somebody is not just feeling sad, but also comes an example for crestfallen. The crestfallen athlete could not believe that he had lost the championship. Well, that was crestfallen. The meaning of our next word is extremely sad and hopeless. Can you guess the word? Our first option is nervous. Second option is stressed, and third option is depressed, and the correct answer is depressed. 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 It means feeling low and hopeless. When Nancy lost all her money in her failed business project, she became quite depressed. That was an example for depressed, but stay tuned for our. Now guess the meaning of desolate. Here we have three options. Option A is scared. Option B is frustrated, and option C is lonely, and the correct option is option C. Desolate. Desolate, which means feeling extremely sad and lonely. Here comes an example for desolate. Martha felt desolate when her best friend moved to another city. Our next word is despairing. Do you know what's the difference between desolate and despairing? Well, desolate and despairing both are quite close in meaning. Both represents extreme sadness, but we use the word desolate when someone is feeling extremely sad and lonely, while we use the word despairing when someone gets extremely hopeless. Let's have a look at despairing and its example. Despairing. Despairing, which means feeling utterly hopeless and miserable. Despairing young woman saw no way out of his financial troubles. That was an example for despairing. Our next advanced word is dismayed. So can you guess whether it's cheerful, sad, or shocking? Well, the correct option is option C. Dismayed. Dismayed, which means feeling shocked and upset. Here we have an example for dismayed. She was dismayed to hear that her best friend had lied to her. That was dismayed. Here comes distracted with three interesting options. So, are you ready to guess? Option A is thinking. Option B is planning. And option C is unable to focus. And the correct option is option C. Here comes another really interesting word, distracted. Distracted. Well, someone is distracted when he or she is unable to focus or concentrate on anything because the person is worried about something. Here we have an example for distracted. The distracted man could not focus on his work because of his child. Well, that was distracted. That was distracted. Can you guess the meaning of distraught? Option A is dreaming. Option B is intelligent. And option C is upset. Distraught. Distraught, which means feeling deeply upset and distressed. Do you know what's the differences between distraught and distracted? Well, distraught and distracted are quite close in meaning. We use distracted when someone cannot focus on something but the intensity is not severe. One can get distracted with a phone call, some noise, or might be some other thought. But we use distraught when someone is extremely worried, upset, nervous, or distressed. Here comes an example for distraught. The distraught father was madly searching for his missing child. That was distraught. Here comes crushed with three different options. Option A is sick. Option B is chest pain, and option C is extreme sorrow, and the correct option is option C. It means feeling extremely sad, highly disappointed, or shocked. Mr. Jordan was feeling crushed after the death of his wife. Here comes our next word, tear jerking, with three different options. Can you guess what it means? Option A is eye disease. Option B is dry eyes, and option C is saddening, and the correct option is option C. Tear jerking. Tear jerking, which means causing great sadness and able to move people to tears. Here we have an example for tear jerking. The tear jerking movie made everyone cry. So that was tear jerking. Our next advanced word is dejected. Here comes our dejected. Dejected, which means feeling extremely sad, highly disappointed, and hopeless. Here we have an example for our dejected. Lauren was feeling dejected when she was fired from her job. Hope this video was helpful. Kindly do like and share. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for our upcoming videos. And do tell us on which topics you want to see more videos. Thanks for watching.